All right, starting a little bit late today. I got to get ready because I got to drive about 15 minutes into Camden to get something sorted out with the school that I can't get sorted out in Blackwood. So that is the first task of the day. And then we'll get into what we're doing later on when I get back with you guys.
Look at these flowers blooming.
Oh, there's tadpoles?
He's kind of grown too. He's got eyes.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of them.
That's cool looking. All right, so that was my morning. Time to get ready for this walk. We got a semi-long one today. I want to get all 3 of my rings closed today. I got 2 more days until I close out the July challenge for the Apple Watch. So let's get to it. I have to say, today is beautiful out here. It is so nice out. We're about 21 minutes into our walk. Pretty good pace, but yeah, I really didn't get into what I was doing for the school, but I did record a little bit of me out with my girlfriend. We went on a walk around the Cooper River Park, and that was pretty nice, but now I'm doing my own walk. I was gonna walk to the Barrington train station, but I might save that for another video. So I'm just walking around Green Acres right now. Today I want to talk about my challenges that I did in the past couple of months. So I wanted to cover my June challenge, my July challenge, my February and March challenge, and my challenge for myself this year. And I also want to talk to you about why I'm doing this video challenge. I want to give a shout out to Scott Schrodinger and Devrin Bradford for inspiring me to do a video challenge. More so Devrin, I've been following his weight loss journey, and I've been commenting along the way. He's been making some great progress, so that's pretty awesome for him. And a shout out to Scott. And Scott really gave me the push that I needed when I was really feeling down. I messed up on my challenge the day that his video came up in my recommended video feed. And he was talking about consistency, and only you are the person that's stopping you from succeeding. Now that was a pretty good message he was giving out. So that's why I'm doing this. But later down on this walk, I'm going to sit down and go over my other challenges and show you my progress and show you that I've messed up, but I'm still going. So. Let's talk about how I've been challenging myself. So in the beginning of this year, I challenged myself to lose enough weight so I could weigh 185 pounds. For me, at the time that looked like 15 pounds, but I was already on a weight loss journey as of July last year. At my heaviest, I was 217 pounds, and anybody that knows me knows that that is a ridiculous amount of weight on my body. My entire life, I've always been underweight. I've always, in early high school, I was averaging around 125 when I was running cross country because I would be running every day and never eating. By the end of senior year, I was 145. And then right before the pandemic, I was around 164 pounds. The first year of the pandemic, I gained 15 pounds. And then the following 6 months after that, so June 2021, I weighed up to 200 pounds. Then I noticed, I'm getting a little bit bigger, but it wasn't that big of a deal for me. It got to the point to where I was noticeably gaining weight every single time I weighed myself. And I was like, okay, damn it, I need to make a change. All right, I'm getting fat, which isn't an issue You know, I'm happy that I'm a little bit heavier than what I was back in high school. 124, 140 pounds is just way too light. But 217 pounds, which was my highest weight, was ridiculous even for myself. Like I felt heavy. Me being a runner in my past, like I wanted to run and I couldn't because I could feel the weight of my body crushing down under my foot every single time I stepped on the ground. And I was like, all right, this needs to change. So I started a calorie deficit, which was successful. I got myself from 217 down to 207 in 6 months, which isn't too fast, but you know, it was a healthy speed. It was enough to where I wasn't noticing it, but I was noticing it later on in the future. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so I got down to 200, and then, or 207. And then by the start of 2024, I was down to 200. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get the extra 15 pounds I need to chop off to where my BMI doesn't say overweight anymore and it just says normal. So that is 185 pounds for my body weight and my height. So right now I'm at 190, which I'll get back to when I tell you about my challenges. So that was my first challenge. I challenged that for the year. I expected to be there in June. I kind of pushed past it, but I've had obstacles along the way that stopped me from hitting 185. Let's start with the first obstacle. So February, I challenged myself to maximize my steps. I wanted to see how many steps I can get in a month before, you know, I was too tired of doing it. So the first week of February, I was just trying to hit 10,000 steps a day. The second week of February, I tried to get 50,000 steps in 100,000 steps in 5 days. That was crazy. So that's like 20,000 steps a day, you know, do the math. That was insane. And I walked through my pair of shoes during that. You know, I had an old pair of shoes and I walked through them. My feet were sore at the end of it and my legs were killing me. So the following week, I kind of slowed down. I hit 10,000 steps probably about 4 of the 7 days that week. And then I finished strong. Finishing strong at the end of February made me want to challenge myself again in March. So I was going to like, I'm going to maximize my steps in March. But this time, I want to see how many miles I can go. So I put like a crazy, I said I wanted to walk 184 miles. 184 because from the top of New Jersey to the bottom of New Jersey in Cape May, that's 184 miles if you were to walk it on, if you were to put it in your maps and put it on walk, it'd be 184 miles tip to tip. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna walk the entire distance of New Jersey. But not only walk, but me being a runner in my past, I was like, I wanna run some of it too. So I started running. I started running again, but flashback to being 217, 207, 200 pounds and not really running for years since high school, my body hadn't adjusted, you know, being able to first move that weight, but also run with that weight. So my first 5-6 runs were great, but halfway through that month, my knees really started to kill me. And I've never had this feeling before. And I would run and then my knees would kill me so bad that I couldn't run. I didn't even want to walk for 3 days after going on a half a mile run. And that's ridiculous. Like, how am I supposed to work, let alone, you know, live and run, and I can't even move my legs? So I looked into it and I got runner's knee. So I was like, oh, okay, that's an issue. You know, runners shouldn't have runner's knee because, you know, then you're gonna not be able to run. So that was my first obstacle. So March challenge, I failed that abysmally. I still made progress though, and that's one thing that I appreciate. So January's challenge is still going. February's challenge, I did it. March's challenge, I failed. April's challenge, I succeeded, and that was learning corrective stretches. And that fed into May's challenge. But in April of this year, I learned stretches to fix my runner's knee. So that would have been squats, kickstand squats, just any stretches, balancing, anything that helped my knees, I was doing. And I was also going to the gym while doing that. So while I was working my legs out doing these stretches, I was also getting my chest done. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna challenge myself. I want to hit the gym 3 times a day, or 3 times a week, 3 different days for the month of April, and I want to see how long I can do that for. So for the month of April, I was doing productive stretches in the gym. Succeeded on that, so that was a good challenge on my part, and I kept it up. So in May, I kind of weaned back on the gym, and I was like, okay, so we're gonna keep doing our stretches, and we're gonna try and go on walks. So May, stretches and walks, I stayed consistent with it, and I think 2 days after my birthday, I want to say it was May 27th, I started a challenge to complete all of my rings for 30 days. So a combination of stretches, working out, and completing my rings. I did that from May all the way until like the first week of July, which is this month now. And I was pretty consistent on it, and I worked myself down at the time. I think I was hanging around 195, and I just couldn't get those 5 stubborn pounds away. I melted away 5 pounds in about a month and a half. So I was 195 pounds. I worked my way down until 190 pounds, and that's where we are now. So this month here, I'm taking it easy. I'm only going to close out my July challenge on my Apple Watch, but for also on this month is doing my video challenge. So that's a non-physical challenge that I'm doing for myself, and I think I'm going to be able to do it. About 3 miles walk in a little bit over an hour. Whew. I'll call that a day. That's a good one right there.